Not all business words are utter nonsense, but they are heavily gatekept. So if you're working class or neurodivergent or both, you're left out of the loop because it is also a symbol that you're in the in group. And usually that's associated with some generational, not even wealth, but getting by. That's why I, your fellow neurodivergent older sister with a PhD, have been researching the unwritten rules of work for a while and give workshops and coaching on this topic. Last week, a lovely nonprofit brought me in to talk about how you can grow in place in a flat hierarchy because nonprofits often have very limited resources and they still want people to be able to pursue their passions and to convey to when they do leave and find other employment all that they have accomplished, even if they've technically been in the same role. And before you come at me, this place does also give annual raises with cost of living. And to start the workshop, I showed them this slide about making your contributions visible and measurable, aligning your growth with organizational priorities, building expertise that the organization needs, creating documentation of your strategic impact, and developing internal networks through cross-functional collaboration. And I told them, does that all sound like a bunch of jargon bullshit? And everybody laughed and nodded. And I was like, I'm going to show you what this actually means. So again, your autistic older sister who has a PhD in work psychology has figured out the frameworks for how to translate this for first generation professionals, neurodivergence, etc. Because companies should have a mission. The behaviors rewarded in the mission should align. The problem is very few leaders are aware that they need to translate what the mission is into the tangible tasks. And many are also making decisions based off unwritten rules that do not align with the mission and might even be counterproductive. But I can help you with this. I'm actually quite good at this on translating mission to tangible tasks because as an industrial organizational psychologist, that is what I am trained to do, is to find out what your goals are and to find you what kind of labor is needed to meet those goals and how do you know it's performing well. And that's why I've been writing my book on the unwritten rules of work for the past year. It'll come out this fall, but I've already released an early chapter that is linked in my bio. The focus of the chapter I released is on indirect communication because this is one of the biggest pain points that I hear about. What is this nonsense? And how do I distinguish nonsense from a new term that was never taught to me in school, was never taught to me by my family because my family was blue collar or pink collar, and yet I'm held to this standard. That sounds like you. Download the chapter and let me know what you think. I put a feedback loop in there, and you're not going to hurt my feelings.